The global economy is currently undergoing a silent transition where the most valuable resource is no longer oil, gold, or silicon, but the finite seconds of human focus. Most creators and media conglomerates are desperately chasing views, while a select few are quietly mastering the subscriber count. Yet almost no one understands the brutal efficiency of the machine operating underneath the surface. What looks like viral entertainment on a smartphone screen is actually a calculated retention engine, engineered with cold precision to transform fleeting attention into predictable, multi-million-dollar cash flow. Every second of a modern masterpiece is measured against a graph, every cut is a deliberate psychological trigger, and every emotional spike is placed to prevent the viewer from ever looking away. Once you see the structural system behind the spectacle, you realize this was never actually about digital fame or creative expression. It was about building a high-velocity revenue machine powered by the fundamental flaws in human psychology. When the public looks at a titan like Mr. Beast, they see a world of extreme challenges, massive giveaways, and colorful thumbnails designed for the masses. What they do not see is the rigid structural design holding the entire empire together. The real breakthrough in this new media landscape was not generosity, high budgets, or scale, it was the perfection of retention engineering. It is the unprecedented ability to keep millions of people watching longer than anyone else has ever managed in the history of the platform. On the modern internet, attention is the only currency that matters, because watch time is the primary fuel that drives algorithmic distribution. Distribution drives views, and views drive the engine of revenue. If you control the retention of an audience, you control the entire cash flow cycle of the digital age. The formula for this dominance begins within the first 5 seconds of interaction. There is no longer room for a slow introduction or a warm-up phase in a world where a swipe can erase a brand's existence. The hook immediately presents a clear promise with impossibly high stakes, whether it be a life-changing challenge, a physical transformation, or a countdown to a catastrophic event. The viewer instantly understands exactly what is at risk and exactly what they will gain by staying until the final frame. This immediate clarity reduces the cognitive friction that leads to drop-offs. When the human brain understands the specific nature of a reward, it remains chemically engaged, trapped by its own curiosity for resolution. Once the hook is set, the mechanism of pacing takes over to maintain the trance. Every few seconds, something in the environment must change to reset the viewer's focus. It could be a shift in camera angle, a sudden layer of sound design, or an increase in visual intensity. The human brain is biologically wired to crave novelty, and the moment that novelty drops, attention plummets into boredom. The structure of an elite documentary forces these micro-shifts to reset the viewer's focus before the mind has the chance to wander. It feels like a natural flow of events, but it is a highly engineered sequence of stimuli. While standard retention graphs show a gradual, painful decline of interest, a professional engine shows plateaus and spikes because emotional beats are strategically inserted to pull the audience back in at the exact moment they might have left. Another critical layer in this architecture is the concept of escalating stakes. The challenge or the narrative arc never stays flat. It is designed to climb a ladder of intensity. If a participant survives 10 hours in isolation, the stakes are immediately raised to 24. If a prize begins at $10,000, the next round must offer $100,000. This constant escalation keeps the flame of curiosity alive by promising an even greater payoff. The brain is an organ that demands resolution, and it wants to see the final outcome of a rising conflict. That biological desire pulls the viewer toward the end of the video, significantly increasing the average watch duration and signaling to the algorithm that this content is of the highest quality. The real cash flow breakthrough happens after this retention is optimized to its limit. Higher retention signals to the platform that the content is a high-value asset, causing the algorithm to distribute the video more aggressively to millions of new users. This creates a cycle where more impressions lead to more views without any proportional increase in marketing costs. In business terms, this significantly lowers the customer acquisition cost for attention. When attention becomes cheaper to acquire, profit margins expand exponentially. This allows a creator to outspend their competition on production while maintaining a healthier bottom line, creating a barrier to entry that few can cross. Revenue in this new empire does not rely on simple ad revenue alone. Strong retention creates massive leverage in the broader market. Brands are willing to pay a premium for integration inside videos that people actually finish, knowing that their message is being heard by an engaged audience rather than a distracted one. Products convert better when they are presented to an audience that has developed a deep psychological trust in the creator over thousands of minutes of watch time. Merchandise and secondary businesses succeed because community loyalty has been forged in the fire of consistent high-quality storytelling. Retention builds trust, and trust builds the various monetization layers that turn a single video into a multi-stream income engine. Behind the scenes of these ghost empires, there is a level of operational discipline that rivals any Fortune 500 company. Thumbnails are not just chosen, they are tested against multiple variations. Titles are refined through data analysis rather than intuition. Concepts are evaluated based on historical performance metrics, not emotional attachment to an idea. If a specific format begins to underperform, it is evolved or discarded without hesitation. If a hook fails to land, the entire production is rebuilt from the ground up. The focus is never on creativity as an abstract art project, it is on the measurable outcome of human focus. This mindset shift is what transforms a hobbyist into a scalable business system. The team structure of a modern media house reinforces this machine. You have writers, editors, data analysts, and production managers working in a synchronized feedback loop. Each role supports the single objective of maximizing viewer satisfaction per every elapsed second. Data feedback loops from previous uploads inform every decision for future projects. The system learns from its mistakes, the content improves with every iteration, and the revenue compounds as the library of high-retention assets grows. This model is powerful because of its replication potential. While the budget and the scale of a production may differ, the structural principles remains constant across every successful niche. The shift from random uploads to engineered retention is the definitive turning point for any modern enterprise. Many creators spend their entire lives chasing a single viral moment that they can never repeat. Very few take the time to build a repeatable system that generates results regardless of the subject matter. A viral video can generate a temporary spike in income, but a retention machine produces consistent, predictable cash flow because the algorithm is programmed to reward sustained engagement over time. Consistency builds predictability, and predictability is the foundation of business stability. In the broader creator economy, this signals a massive power shift away from traditional media gatekeepers. Traditional media relied on the control of distribution through cable wires and printing presses. On the modern web, distribution follows attention performance. If you can outperform your competitors in retention, you gain immense leverage without ever needing to own the platform itself. This is why the underlying strategy matters far more than the visual spectacle. The spectacle is merely what attracts the initial click. The structure is what keeps the person there until the end. For any new channel or business, the lesson is not to copy the massive scale of the leaders, but to copy their discipline. Every second of content must justify its existence in the eyes of the viewer. This era of media dominance is not a product of luck or being in the right place at the right time. It is architecture. It is the deliberate design of attention pathways that convert a viewer's initial curiosity into a completed experience, and that completion into a loyal consumer. Once a creator understands how to engineer that pathway, the platform becomes less of an unpredictable gamble and more like a precise system that rewards accuracy and data-driven execution. The cash flow machine was never built overnight. It was refined through years of experimentation, analysis, and a relentless commitment to improvement. The real story of modern media power lives within the structure of the focus itself. Understanding the machine is the only way to own the future of the digital economy.